Hi, Mahadevi here with Elevated Health and Bodywork in Atlanta. So this video is to further explain why I, as a Vata body type, and why other people who have Vata body types, why you could really benefit from trying some strength training. So the people in my community, there's a lot of yogis, just a lot of people who are entrepreneurs, really sensitive, healers, body workers, people who wouldn't typically go to the gym and lift heavy weights all the time. That's not really their body weight goal, isn't to be really thick, and some feel like they can't because they're vegan. Well, let me tell you, there's plenty of vegan bodybuilders. So these are my reasons why I personally started a heavy lifting program with Ashley Lynn Fit. It's an online personal trainer. I'm doing an 8-week program and meal plan, which is so important for Vatas, and I'll share that information with you too. So first off, why this is a good idea. Why this is something you might want to consider. So if Vata Pitta Kapha, if you've heard those terms before but you're not really sure what they mean and which one you are, and you need to know your prakriti is your constitution. Dosha, a lot of people will say their dosha, like, do you know your dosha? Your dosha is your imbalance. So typically if you're Vata, a lot of people in America have a Vata dosha, they have a Vata imbalance, but who you are, your body type, you have a mind type and a body type, is going to be your prakriti. It's your constitution. So my constitution, my body constitution for sure, and obviously today my mind is a little bit Vata. It's air and ether, but that's another video, so if you need to look that up, there'll be a link down below to banyabotanical.com where you can take your prakriti evaluation so you know what body type you are. But it also gives you so much information about Ayurveda. It's a beautiful site just to learn about Ayurveda. I love it. But if you've had a session with me for body work, I probably have evaluated what your prakriti typically probably is, or especially your body, if not your mind. So for Vatas, which I am also, long, lean, lots of space in the joints, which is the number one reason why lifting and strength training I feel is so important. So reason number one is that Vatas are hypermobile. We have all this hypermobility. That's why we can go to yoga class. A lot of us are yoga instructors. I'm a yoga instructor also. And people are like, oh, it's just you're so open and you're so flexible. How long have you been doing yoga? And you're like, really, maybe 2 years, it's like whatever. I mean, I've been doing it longer, but the thing is, we don't have to do yoga a lot. We're already hypermobile. What we really need to focus on in yoga classes is coming out a little bit, not our full extension, because we get into a place where it's dangerous when we're in yoga classes, where we start to lengthen the ligaments and not the muscles. The thing is, we don't feel a stretch in our muscle because that muscle's not short enough, because that muscle's not stabilizing anything. So hypermobility. So to gain stability within the joints, which is the number one issue for Vata body types, discomfort and pain in their body, typically is because there's an imbalance where there's if you have a joint, there's one muscle group that's doing everything for that joint and the other one's not doing anything. Really typical is the shoulders. That's what I've been dealing with too, especially on my left shoulder. And so even when you're doing the strength training, there's lots of exercises where you do both arms, but as a therapist, let me tell you, I see it all the time where your sides of your body are different. They're just very different. So you do some sets with, bars, but when you do the sets with the dumbbells is where you really get to work on one side, and it could be vastly different, and that could be the whole issue and why you have discomfort in, say, your shoulder. Another really place that Vatas have a lot of instability is their SI joint. Right in there, the sacroiliac joint, and most of it's because it's unstable. There's so much instability in the pelvis, usually dropping out, through the pelvic floor. We don't have enough stability around the glutes. We don't usually have glutes. Vatas, thin, tall, bony people, no. So let's get some glutes, okay? So hypermobility, it helps with stability. The second main reason is heat. Vata is air and ether. We don't have a lot of Agni. We don't have a lot of heat and fire naturally in our body. So typically, if you follow Ayurvedic lifestyle and the what they say to do is for you to work it up, especially for Vatas, the best time for you to create heat in your body is first thing in the morning, because you need to wake up and wake your body up. So the things that help that would be, right, the Ishnan, like cryotherapy, cold showers. Oh, it's not a whole shower. If I don't already, I have a video about Ishnan. The cold showers are just amazing for your body. They're so good for your skin. They're so good for your cardiovascular system. They're so good for your organs. It gives you a whole organ flush. And what it's asking your body to do is to produce heat. Your body's not going to go into hypothermia when you're in your shower for a little bit. You know what I mean? You're not going to freeze to death, okay? Promise. Because you're really only getting your arms and your legs, and there's a whole video about that. But, so because it asks your body to, oh gosh, we got to heat up because I'm freezing. So you're producing your own heat internally, which is what you'll do also when you start working out, which means that you'll have a better digestive system because you need the heat for transformation. If you're dealing with any burning off any karmas, right? You need more heat in your physical body. You need more heat mentally. You need just the heat for digestion. Typically, if Vatas are really imbalanced because of the dryness, they can be, you can easily get constipated. And that's something it's not going to be good. But the working out will help that because it adds the heat, and it makes you so much more regular. All right, so then the third one would be grounding. So grounding is obviously earth, being in the body. If you're Vata, you're up here. You're air and you're ether. And, we're typically, like, if we move, we're very up and bouncing and up here, and we're not really down and low in the abdomen and the pelvis and the legs and the feet and the thighs and the knees. We tend to be really disconnected from that, especially if you're a Vata who happens to be 6 foot tall. Your feet are pretty far away, So, of course, dance would be great for that, too. That adds heat to the body, and you're moving into so I would also always suggest 5 rhythms. But the strength training, because you're specifically working with each muscle group, so I have leg day, and I get to have a whole hour where I'm having this conversation with each part of my legs, and they're having conversations with me. The conversation goes both ways. So, like, if you've had a session with me, you know how I say, what we're really doing is just spending time with each part of the body and hearing what it has to say, hearing what it's teaching, listening to what it needs. If it's holding something, what does it need for it to process it? What does it need? And so many times when I'm moving through the body and on Vatas and I get to the legs, it says, please feed me. Please feed me. Nutrients, heat, just connection, the vitality. The vitality is coming up from the earth. It's that grounding energy. It's you pulling up energy from the earth. We're so connected to the energies coming in from up here, but let's pull them up from the mother. So really getting down into your legs. So the grounding aspect is it's for sure there when you're doing weight training, because you're pushing, you're using your legs, you're bringing this full potential into every muscle in your body. And you're connecting to things that maybe you didn't even know that muscle was there. All right. The third, or fourth, I don't know where we are. Just a side note, this is supposed to be my Sunday fun day. So it's supposed to be my lighthearted day where I'm not so serious. So I'm going to go ahead and say, check. It's happening. So the next one is to build in that challenge. So when you go through all of these, especially the heating up the body and the grounding, you're also really dealing with being challenged in your stamina. It was still going. My computer blacked out. So having that challenge and pushing through it is so empowering, okay? So it's helping you to step into your power. And with Vatas, we tend to we can do bursts and then we back off because that's all we got. So this is this continual going, and it's not like we're doing, when you're doing the strength training, what's great about heavy lifting is that, you're doing 4 sets of 15 or 3 sets of 12 is what I'm doing all the time. And there's a minute break in between because you're not trying to get the heart rate up, because we're not trying to lose weight. We're not trying to lose weight. We're trying to gain mass, muscle, self. We're not trying to cardio ourselves to death. But it's the pushing and saying, yes, I can. Yes, I've got 3 more in there. It's that stamina that we need. And that's that self-confidence that we need to say, we are here. I am here. I have a right to be here. I am strong and I'm grounded, and I'm grounded in my boundaries. That's a big thing for Vatas, is not having really set and spoken boundaries. And when you're walking around a gym, you just feel the sense of self just overtakes you. I have just been loving it. That's what I'm saying. So those are all the reasons. Just so many reasons. And then on top of that, another really important thing to talk about is the diet. And diet isn't just what you're eating. So typically Vatas are nibblers. You just nibble. Or they suppress their appetite. I know I did that for a long time too. It's oh, I'm hungry, and I'd eat 4 cookies. It's well, no, I'm not hungry anymore. That hunger pain is gone. My body was oh, she's going to feed us, so I don't have to keep sending that signal. But it's wait, 5 cookies was not really what I was talking about. I had something in my eye. Anyway, so typically what we try to do to figure out how much we need to eat, right, or if we want to gain or lose weight, people have been doing the BMI, the body mass index calculator. And it's not as accurate as it really needs to be, but it's a good place to start, especially for Vatas, because you're probably not eating enough calories, food in general, during the day. And so if you're already not eating enough calories, and you're oh, I'm going to start working out because I really want to build up some stability in my muscles, and then you go to the gym and you work to fatigue, and you're oh my god, I'm going to pass out, or I feel dizzy, or oh, I can't even think straight. I don't think I could even see straight. And you're sore for so many days after, and you're so exhausted. You didn't eat enough. Okay? You've got to eat more. Just an example. I'm 5'11", I'm 6 foot, and I'm 150. And I've been 150 since I got 150, in high school. That's Vata life, okay? So for me to maintain with the BMI calculator, it's 2,600 calories a day that I need to consume just to maintain that. That's without adding in any kind of exercise. And it'll ask you usually on a BMI calculator, what's your activity level, but it's not, it can't be accurate. But then so before I'd really changed my diet, I was just kind of tracking what I was eating, and I was maybe on a good day getting 1,500 calories. So a good 1,000 calories under. So for me to try to start working out with that same diet, I was exhausted and dizzy and super tired. And you don't have to be like that. You don't have to, especially after strength training, because you're doing it in intervals and it's not like a high intense cardio workout. You're not going to be as tired. You're not even going to really be as sweaty. You're going to heat up, but it won't be as gross, So making sure that you're eating enough. So when I got my 8-week workout program, I also got my meal plan um, for my body type, with the right amount of calories and the right amount of proteins to make sure that I can build and gain. So for my goals, and I got that through Ashley Lynn Fit, which is an online personal trainer in Colorado. I'll put her information down below also. Ashley Lynn Fit. There's lots of really great online personal trainers. If you are a vegan or vegetarian, there's plenty of online personal trainers that will give you a vegan, vegetarian meal plan. I mean, if you're vegan, you're vegetarian. Okay, a vegan meal plan. There are vegan bodybuilders. Okay, you can do it without having to consume little baby animals. So and it's a lot more food than you think. So you're going to be eating, so if you don't get a whole meal plan, just know that this is what you need to know about eating. Do it more often. Maybe just find some kind of basis, like collect some data. Just, all you have to do is you go to Google on your phone and calories in one apple. It'll pop right up. And it's probably from like MyFitnessPal. Totally accurate. It's a good source. Okay, and just write that down or put it in your phone just so you have some kind of idea. Like it's like 60 calories or something in an apple. Right, so don't worry about like the fats or whatever. Just get a good idea of how much you're eating, and then do the BMI just so you have an idea. Do the BMI calculator. Would you just Google and find anyone that's online? So, and then maybe you get a meal plan from somebody. Whatever your diet plan is, whatever your not restrictions. I don't like to say restricted, and it's your preference. And then main thing is, so I know how we were saying for Ayurveda, they're saying if you need to heat your body up first thing in the morning. But you can't weight lift typically as a Vata first thing in the morning because you don't have enough calories in your body yet. You don't have enough energy for your body to heavy weight lift just yet. So it's really supportive for me and for other Vatas usually is that you work out during the heat of the day because it's already giving you that heat that you need, right? You're getting that you're working out during the pitta part of the day, so 12 to 2. That means you've already had breakfast, snack, and then you'll have a protein shake right before you work out. And then 30 minutes after, right after you work out, you have another protein shake. You make sure that you leave and you get food immediately. Because why? Because you just worked out. You just strained and exhausted a part of your body. So it's going to want to replenish itself. It's going to need nutrients and fats and things for that. And if you don't give it something, it will start eating your muscles. Okay. You don't want that. And you don't have a reserve as a Vata for anything else to be eaten away, because typically we don't have a lot of fat. Typically we don't have a lot of excess nutrients in our body because we don't typically eat enough. So your body will start eating your muscles. And if you're trying to put on muscle, it's a horrible cycle of not going to work out. So eating 30 minutes after, you typically want to try to get at least 33 grams of protein back in within that 30 minutes. So I just immediately have a smoothie to get it in there because the liquid form, it'll enter into the bloodstream quicker, and then I eat right after. And then you want to continue to eat throughout the day. All right. So, like I said, a lot of people I know in my community are Vata yoga instructors, healers, energy workers, and we're having a hard time processing. It's becoming more and more challenging to process the shifting, expansive energies in this world right now. And especially as healers, we're not supposed to be taking stuff on, but we do, especially as Vatas and empaths. It gets stuck to you. And so this ritual of working out this is my body, these are my boundaries, and you're helping to align, especially for Vatas, because we need that alignment and the stability of the joints are helping to align so that the energy, the universal energy, can flow more freely through you. It's easier for you to ground it into Mother Earth. It's easier for you to process it through your body, okay? Just like yoga would do. Let me tell you, oh my gosh. If you love doing yoga but you're Vata and it's like, me, I just like moving, you know, and you're not doing like some heavy power core yoga, you're just doing yoga. Once I started heavy lifting, I fell so much more in love with yoga. Even just a sun salutation. Okay, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what people have been feeling. There's like stretching happening. I can like feel stretching. Let me show you this, okay? This is being stretched right now. This I could probably wrap around my head before, like, you know, like no problem, because I'm Vata. I've got so much space in here. But right now, I have a stretch. You know what that means? That means that there's a muscle developing right there. And it's getting shorter because it's helping to hold my shoulder. I'm so excited. It's great. Anyway, all I'm saying is like it could possibly reconnect you to your yoga practice in a way that you haven't even, or especially if you're a teacher, you know, when you have those pitta body types come in, the people who are really stiff in their joints, and you can tell they're having a hard time, but you can't really relate. You can't really relate. But you can't just, what's your deal? Like, you can't just touch your scapula. Like, why can't you just touch your scapula? Like, what is the deal? I have such a huge stretch right here right now because I did triceps yesterday. So, it's amazing. It's a whole new way to feel your body, which is in itself worth it. So, that's all my information I have about suggesting that possibly a heavy lifting, weight training, strengthening program added into your life could really help your practice if you're a healer, and grounding in and helping to process out energies and the expansive energies that are happening in the world right now to help stabilize your physical body so that you can process your own energies and your own karma. Let's not forget that. Helping you feel more at home in your body, to relieve a lot of discomfort and the tiredness. Are you tired? Eat and work out, okay? And yeah, just stability and just stepping into your power. That's just my big thing right now, stepping into your power. Okay? Thank you all so much for watching, for everyone who watched all the way to the end. And, you know, please feel free to contact me for an assessment. Again, I'm going to put the Ayurvedic link down below so you can go through the evaluation and see if what your prakriti is, what your dosha, what your out of balance might be. And then I do mobile massage in the area. My phone number is down. My link for my Schedulista is down also, and I've been a massage therapist, body worker, and energy facilitator of movement for 9.5 years. So, and I would love to work with you in the Atlanta area or, you know, outside of the OTP. All right. Love you so much. Blessings, family, and have a wonderful day.